and dear colleagues, as we are gathered in this room discussing about the treaty, I just want to remind us that violent conflicts are continuing on a global scale, and especially in the Niger Delta, Nigeria. The people of Nigeria, the communities of the Niger Delta, they do not only support the legal binding treaty, they are already asking, when will this treaty become effective? Because once this treaty has become effective, it is very clear that Shell, that has destroyed the Niger Delta, will be one of the transnational corporations that will be brought to book under this instrument. We are very committed, and we want to remind us that since oil extractives started in the Niger Delta 50 years ago, the region has known no rest. It has been one of persistent gas flaring and frequent oil spills. As we speak, over 10,000 oil spill sites in the Niger Delta, and not one spill site has been cleaned. The people's livelihood has been ruined. The issues of water, their water, benzene is found in water 900 times, according to United Nations documents, above World Health Organization standards. Not just that, from the spills of Shell in Ogoni, hydrocarbon has been found in the depth of over 5 meters in places purported to have been cleaned up by Shell. So we have a situation where dialogue has failed. We have a situation where national legal instruments have failed. The people have persistently asked for dialogue, and in return, they are met with violence. They are met with denials. There is hardly any access to justice by the communities. So over the years, they have been visited with pain, with grief, with misery. Over the years, they have internalized these pains, these miseries, these violent conflicts, and they are now playing it back in what I have called corporate backlash, which is manifesting in the form of daily kidnappings, daily sabotage of oil facilities, and militant struggle against the state and the oil companies. This is a huge business risk, and it's a threat to the people of the Niger Delta. We must remind ourselves the way energy security is defined, which is part of the problem. To the global north and the government, energy security is defined as the continuous flow of resources, even if it has to be propped up by military might. I say this because in the Niger Delta, oil is drilled behind military shield. So this definition is very different to what is operating in the global south. Energy security means dispossession. It means human rights violations. It means pollution of water bodies, and is leading increasingly to violent conflicts at the site of extraction. The communities, along with Environmental Rights Action, that is a chapter of Friends of the Earth International, have been working to use legal instruments as part of the elements of the global binding treaty. As we speak, 4 fishermen are in court against Shell in the Netherlands. And the Netherlands court have ruled that Shell has a case to answer over its atrocities and violent conflicts, the issues of pollution in the Niger Delta. That is not all. This year, through our support, the communities and the global networks fighting for environmental justice for the local communities, we have, on behalf of the Ikebiri community in the Niger Delta, this year launched a court action against Ajib or any that is based in Italy. How long shall we continue to wait for justice? Justice is hard to get at the national level. We are now exploring the international level. But these cases have lasted over 10 years. In fact, some of these cases, Shell is very pleased that you take them to court because court cases last a lifetime. And so that is the situation, but I want to mention one critical element that could be very fundamental to the treaty, which is being ignored, and that is the issue of ecocide. Ecocide. If people persistently take decisions that persistently lead to the death of people, then the crime of ecological crime is tantamount to ecocide. And this is pervading. Now my time is up, but I just want to make this point very clear. There are so many instruments we can use to make the TNCs to buckle. One is divestment, removal of capital, loans and subsidies from extractive industries. When Kensarua and his 8 colleagues were killed in 1995, but in 1993, the Ogoni has already expelled, declared Shell persona non grata in Ogoni land. And by expelling them, they have successfully locked in, prevented the exploration of 28,000 barrels, locked in production on a daily basis. So they have started this concept of decarbonization, and that is why we must continue to remind ourselves of this slogan: leave the oil in the soil, coal in the hole, and tar sands in the sand. Thank you.